Hey everyone, it's Adonis here, and y'all, I'm super excited today for Thrive Social Podcast. Man, I have a guest today. This is going to be a great episode. If you're a photographer, you definitely want to tap in. I have a special guest. She is a photographer in the Atlanta area, and she is phenomenal. She's killing it. Without further ado, we're going to introduce you guys to Mecca. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing?
What's poppin'?
Welcome.
I'm good. I'm amazing.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm super excited. For the second episode, I got you in this building. Man, come on, man. Stop playing.
Second episode?
Yeah. Stop playing, y'all.
Here,
See, I'm not.
Building.
You feel me? I'm not playing, y'all. I'm bringing the best. Y'all, Mecca is a photographer in Atlanta, and just in the past year, you've built multiple brands under your photography brand where you're helping, coaching, mentoring other photographers in the industry, and you've been killing it. Tell me more about it. What do you got going on? Where we at right now?
Well, I want to specify the just like always being purposeful and finding the niche in it.
Yeah.
So I started the Black Girl Shoot. I think that was the start of it.
Yes.
Which was Black Girl Shoot, and that started in March. I wasn't intentionally trying to get into coaching when I did so.
Okay, got it.
But I'm gonna talk about God because that's
hello. Let's talk about him. We love Jesus around here. Let's be more specific. We love Jesus around here.
He's my guiding force in everything, in every step that I've taken in business. Because if without him, I don't know what I'd be doing or what to do anyway. January of last year is when like the first year I had ever like fasted and was like, I'm completely surrendering my business to God. Like I surrender, I take it out of my own hands to release control. Cause I think a lot of times we try to control our own destinies and be, control everything that's going on, especially as entrepreneurs. Like you trying to just make things work. And when I was making things work, I burnt myself out. I was talking about this the other day, yesterday on my business boot camp. Was 2022 was my burnt out year. I was so ready to quit photography. I was done with it. I didn't want to even pick up another camera, take another photo because I was trying to do everything. Yeah. Didn't have a niche. Was trying to shoot everybody's birthday shoot, graduation shoot, maternity shoot, everything. And just only in the means of all in the name of just trying to make it work. Literally. And trying to be in control of everything. And so come January 2023, I said, Lord, I release it to you. I surrender. I give it up to you. And I distinctly remember in February, in February was when it happened. I had a dream. I swear to you, I'm not one of those people who is like, yeah, God talks to me. I heard God say this. Literally, I've never been one of those type of people to do that. Yeah. Because I didn't know what that was like until it happened. And when it happened, I was like, oh, it's so loud and audible. You cannot help it but to listen.
You can't even run away from it.
No, not at all. So it was clear as day. He said, I want you to do an event for Black women, for Black female photographers, like, and bring it together. Mind you, not in the photography space, I've never done anything like that before. So I'm like, where am I getting this from? And why do I have this certain urge? And I know I heard it. It was so loud and so clear. And from that, what I learned was that God will position you even when you don't think you're ready for something. He will position. Like, y'all,
I'm done. Podcast over.
No, I'm so serious.
That's so
like,
good.
He really will like position you. Like, think about it. You probably had a job before, like, or you got booked for something early on in your career, and you like,
ain't no way I'm ready for this.
How? And then you show up, and he knew you didn't think you were ready, but he knew you were ready. Yeah. Like, and if you weren't ready, he's gonna prepare you and give you the tools that you need every step of the way. So he positioned me before I even knew I was being positioned. So come February, he told me to do this. And at the end of February, I remember February 30th, we dropped the flyer. And literally within an hour, we had, not within an hour, I think it was within 2 hours, we had sold out of over 100 tickets for that event. And for the first Black Girl Shoot event.
So we're talking about an event where you've never hosted an event in Atlanta before.
I have hosted. So I was in network marketing.
Okay.
I was in network marketing, so we used to do events for that, but it was never like a big, large.
The way you did it like this, at 100+ people within 2 hours, tickets gone.
So that's what I said. Like God literally will position me, and I wasn't ready when I saw it. I said, "Ooh,
I can imagine."
I said, so what's next?" And literally every step of the way, it was like, "All right, okay, what do I need to do? Get sponsors." Right. So I didn't know what else to do. Like I was like, okay, I need to get a sponsor. I need to add value to this in a sense. That's the only thing I could ever think about doing always is how much value can I add to something. And so sponsors, just reach out. I just started writing down names of just random people, random things. Aperture Ramp ended up being the first one. Locked in with us and sponsor. Not only they sponsor the event, but they gave all the Black Girl Shoot members 10% off all rentals for the entire up until now. It's about to renew, but hopefully they renew with us. But
and just so y'all know, Aperture Rent is a rental house based in Atlanta. They also recently opened a photography studio here, and incredible. They jumped on.
Yep, they were on board, and I don't really know how or why. I mean, I did tell them that we had attendees, but I had no social proof to what I was doing. So it's like they took a leap of faith in me to even want to back what we were doing, what I was doing with the thing. And I was just like, wow, like it's crazy. And then even boiling down to almost like the space, like the space was even per se gifted to me in a sense for the event. Like, from a friend I hadn't talked to in literally years. When I tell you we hadn't talked in years.
But timing.
Timing. I said, this is nothing but God. It has to be. It has to be. So, because if it was me, I would not be able to, I don't even know. I have no clue how it would have turned out. So, from there, honestly, I think that was like the launching pad to everything else. Wow. It had to be because
that's how, because I remember we both were, when me and you met, we both were just and I hate to say this, but we both were just photographers, just doing whatever. I'm sorry, I know y'all hate that, but we were photographers just clicking buttons.
For whatever. We were generalists. Let's just say generalists.
Like we was just like boom, 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 whatever we can get our hands on, whatever can cut us a check, pay us a bag. You want to give us 100, we'll take it. You want to give us 500, we'll take it. Just give me whatever. Exactly. And immediately while I was transitioning, and I'm looking at you, and I'm like, Black Girl Shoot, what's going on? And I'm just watching it explode.
Yeah.
So how many events did you have last year from that first one?
So we did from that one. I honestly found mistakes in the things that I was doing after eventually. Yeah. Because I was so excited with everything, and I loved doing it because it was like I always knew I wanted to pour back into people. I didn't know what capacity I was going to do it at. Yeah. So in my excitement, I was like, oh, I'm going to do an event every single month, and we're going to do calls all the time.
It'd be like that.
And eventually, I did have to pull back. Yeah. But when I was in the midst of it, because I'm like, all right, if I say I'm gonna do something, I kind of got to do it. At this point, you put it out there, you can't fold. So we ended up at what did we close out with? Like about 7 events for the year. Wow.
And what's the focus on when it comes to Black Girl Shoot? Is it just like female photographers? What's the focus?
Well, you know that female photographers are the most Black female photographers are the most underrepresented, unappreciated women in this space. And I know my struggles and my personal woes with this industry, and it's not a knock on the industry, but it's like I know so many talented women, right? But oftentimes are Black women, but we're very much overlooked in a lot of ways. Like I never use it as an excuse for myself to not be successful and not go hard and build.
But we're not going to turn a blind eye to it,
right? But I can't really turn my to say that I've never felt overlooked in a lot of ways, right? And like so many people will even come to me and be like, or so many clients would come to me and they'll say things like, oh, I didn't even know you existed. I went to such and such down the street, and now I'm mad because I hate my photos. I'm like, yes, sis.
Yeah, I'm right here.
And would be a Black woman too. Like it's little things like that. Even when it comes to like commercial spaces, like name 3 commercial high-end photographers.
I honestly can name 2. Lindsay.
Black women.
Black women. Literally Jessie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one I can name. Jessie. Like.
I know a few more other than Jessie.
I'm sure, exactly. But for me, Jessie,
for the main part is majority Jessie.
Yeah. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So you're really making huge impact. You have all these women joining in together while still building your photography brand. Mm-hmm. What did you do with your photography brand for that transition?
I didn't transition anything. Mm-hmm. I think it was like that. Ironically enough, like I said, that surrender was such a huge. I think it was the most pivotal thing that's happened to me in my business was surrendering. Because within that same time, that's when I started focusing in on niching in. And like I was like, okay, no, you need to focus. And I think that's a big piece. A lot of people, we hear all the time, but until you do it and make that decision to do it, it's a day and night difference on the level of clientele you receive, how much people are willing to pay you, like all of that. A lot of the stresses you go through early on in your business goes away when you develop a focus and you hone in on that. Yeah. And so I think during that same time, even while I was building Black Girl Shoot, I was niching down.
Narrowing your audience, focusing on a group of people. It's funny because I tell photographers all this all the time. Finding that niche is so crucial, and the biggest thing you don't want to do is you don't want to get caught up in shooting everything and thinking you're making it, and you're doing it, because what's going to happen is you're going to realize you want to niche down and you want to be an expert in an area. But now that means you probably have to slow down the business just for a season to transition it.
Ooh, that's the hard part. And I don't think people are ready for that one. They're not ready for that one.
You got that transition.
They're not ready for it because it comes with it does. In order to elevate in this space, you have to be able to be willing to go backwards. And a lot of people are not ready for that. And I think it took a lot of, once again, a lot of trends I'm just noticing is that people invest very heavily into the artistry, understanding artistry, taking lighting classes, taking editing classes. Even though I think that's super important.
Super important.
Definitely develop your skill set. A lot of people forget to invest in business. And the only reason I was able to withstand the retracement period, because I went through the many retracement periods before I was able to go forward, was because I had the coach and the knowledge of, oh, this is something normal that happens. Don't stress out, don't quit, don't go back and think that you need to go back to what was not serving you. You didn't know it wasn't serving you, but it's not serving you. Just because you're going through something, it's easy.
And literally, another thing I tell people too is it's important to understand you're also going to have a lifestyle change temporarily too. Like, I think people don't factor that in. They're used to spending maybe $7,000, $5,000 a month on whatever. Now you have to slightly pull back just a little bit while you do that transition, while you adjust the business, you adjust the flow, you adjust the process, you adjust the presentation, the branding, and then everything changes. And I watched you do that. You got a coach initially, and then I just watched your page just start drastically changing.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for everything to completely start shifting, and immediately you start seeing results overall?
How long did it take? Dang, I actually never thought of that.
Yeah.
Only because I think when you're in just doing it, you don't. I don't know. I've never thought of that. How long did it take? I don't know. I remember in December is when I started to make the shift. Only because.
And what, December of what?
December of 2022.
Okay.
Because 2023, I would call that my niche year when I was figuring out and then starting to put out more content that aligned with that. Yeah. But I would say December 2022. At the time, I had partnered with this lady. She had a marketing agency, and I was her go-to photographer for all her clients. So at the time, all her clients were it fell within that personal branding niche. Okay. And I was like, oh, I never wanted to, always thought, honestly, if I'm being quite honest, I thought personal branding was boring. I thought it was boring. I was like, these lifestyle cookie cutter images, these are boring. These are not
I'm not gonna lie.
We started.
You're right.
I'm
with shooting. I was that guy. I thought it was boring.
And I mean, and in some cases, it can be boring if you decide to keep yourself in that box and keep even personal branding in a box.
Literally.
But once I was like, oh no, this don't have to be boring.
You put your heart in it. You have to put your heart in it.
That too, but also incorporate your own style. Like, one of the things I was saying on the business boot camp, I was saying you have two approaches to niching, which is one is your who and two is your how. Oof. Your who is who you're serving, right?
Yeah.
Personal branding, small business owners, Black women. If it's maternity, then that may be pregnant moms, or that's your who, right? But your how is your style. That's when being whatever you were doing as a journalist and whatever you're doing when you were serving everyone in that artistic side of yourself, when you're just practicing, that's when that comes into play. You take on that niche and whatever that is, and you incorporate whoever you are into that.
Yeah.
And so doing that piece and not making changing my mindset to change my approach to how I saw personal branding opened up a world for me to say, okay, this doesn't have to keep me. This doesn't have to be
I feel like that's what people think it is. People think niching down means going down and pressing yourself so far. Nah,
it can be more than that. So that was a huge realization I had to have. Like, oh no, I can. My thing was, before I found like, okay, I'm gonna be a brand photographer, I was like, I'm a fashion editorial beauty photographer. That's literally what I had in my bio. I'm the fashion editorial beauty photographer.
Yeah.
That shot everything.
Literally, that shoots everything. That's my favorite thing to shoot.
Right.
But I shoot everything. Anything. What's up?
But you can still be a fashion editorial beauty photographer within a certain, but just knowing who you're doing it for and how you do. Because honestly, most people don't know what they want.
They don't know what they want. They have no idea. They have no idea. So they just have a budget, and they either are looking for the cheapest, which for me, that's not my target demographic, or two, they have a budget and they're trying to pick who they like or who they fit.
Exactly.
They feel they're the most comfortable with.
Exactly. So if you tell them idea, 9 times out of 10, they're actually 1% of the time have I ever had a client that I've worked with come to set already having a plan for what they want their shoot to look like.
1%
of the time.
1%.
Everybody
and
else,
it's so rare. It's actually scary when I get on set and I'm like, oh wow, they have it all figured out. Okay.
Right. I'm like, am I useful here? Is there something for me to do? Do y'all need something? Can I get y'all some water? Because literally all you're there to do is just shoot.
It's so rare. It's so rare.
But everybody else, I'm literally just.
They want you as a photographer and the artist.
Right. And so they're wanting me to give them the ideas and plan out. And basically, you're a creative director. I'm sorry, as a photographer, you are the creative director. You might as well embrace the role.
Embrace it. If you feel like you're not that good at it, make your team stronger. Just because you're a photographer, it doesn't just have to be you within your company. Put people on board. Literally. Waste no time.
So, that was one of the things I realized. I was like, oh, well, if I can just give them ideas, spoon feed them my ideas, then I'm getting the portfolio work that I want anyway. Ooh. So it works.
And that goes into another point, meaning since you're using your clients to get a lot of your portfolio work, that means you spend less time having to create other things that creating other marketing for your business because your clients is the marketing.
Yeah, except for okay, so this is one thing I'm like, all right, I'm struggling with a little bit, is breaking into the commercial space. Yeah. I feel like when it comes to that, I feel like, the first level is you're stepping in, journalist, figuring out your client, figuring out how to make money in a space. That's level 1. Level 2 is, all right, I figured out my niche. Now I'm trying to figure out how to build clients within this niche. Yeah. Level 3 is how do I surpass this, just your niche, to then, I don't want to say commercial is the top level, because it's not. Like, you see other people like extremely successful in so many different
because you don't have to go commercial. Like, you can, but if that's where you want to go next, that's where you want to go next.
But I ain't gonna lie, that's where I want to go next. It's nice seeing a $75,000 invoice.
It's real. Y'all, it's real. I know for me, I've witnessed it with my bare eyes.
$130,000 invoices.
I know people who experience that. So it's real. Like, it's real. And that's pretty much where you're at now. Now you're at a point where
just know it, you have your current body of work, but then just outside of that, never stop being constantly remind ourselves to never stop being creative and creating new bodies of work just for the passion. Right, that can be something that you can pitch to someone else or pitch to another company or whatever. So that was just always a thought in the back of my head. Just not just finding the time, but also just always taking action and being constantly in your creative bag to.
So what I've been doing for me is to help me build that part of my portfolio is if I get a client who just wants a simple project, I go over the moon with it. I'd be like, let's take it to this level. So just like what you say, you bring them fresh ideas. I don't only just bring the idea, I actually, so technically they're not paying me where I'm turning it into a $5,000 production, but I'm not doing it for them intentionally. I'm doing it, investing my money, probably renting equipment.
So glad you said that.
I'm doing it simply because why not? If I really want to get better and these clients are giving me an opportunity and trusting me with their brand, why not take this opportunity not only to over deliver, but also pour back into my company and pour back and invest back into my business. So,
and I think that separates you from a lot of people, or anybody that I know that's successful, and a lot of people is the person who is like, you know, I'm going to show up and just take a picture and do it the way I've always done it,
and stay at the price you paid me, whatever price you paid me, keep it in that box.
Right, and be like, oh, you only paid me $250, so I'm going to treat you like a $250 client. And even when I was charging, I don't think I ever charged $250. I think even when I was charging like $287 or $300, I think I thought I was lit. When I got to like $287, I was like, oh, we up.
When I got to 300, because when I moved to Atlanta, I started at literally 180.
Yeah. Oh and my God. I was at 180. Oh my God.
I was at 180 doing like 30 clients a month.
I thought I was gassed. I was like, yo, y'all can't tell me nothing. I'm booked it busy, baby.
Yeah, and now I don't know. I want to be booked, but not busy.
Right, right. But no, I said that to it was during those time periods where I was doing the maternity, the birthday shoots, all the other stuff. It's like, even though you like, it's never fun being a journalist unless you, at least you don't, when you get the knowledge of why that's not okay for a long time. But when you in that state, you got to honor those seasons that God has you in, because when you honor that and you treat it how you just said, which was like, even though if you pay me this, I'm going to go above and beyond and over deliver the value, because then that's portfolio work. That's what's going to make me better.
It pours back into me. Like I just don't lose. I don't lose. If you're strategic with it, with the over delivering, you can't lose. Like, when I was niching down, that's what helped me niche down. It was because I would get those branding clients, you know, off the whim, whatever, and they would be wowed by me, and I didn't think I was doing anything special. I'm like, my pictures look just like that other picture you took the other day. But they're like, no. He was late. He didn't do this. Pictures came in 3 weeks late. You posted a story even today where it's talked about like the power of how we present our brand, where you simply was responding to a call at a right time.
Oh yeah,
like
I kid you not. That was, I'm listening to her. I'm like, that's crazy, baby.
Yeah. So tell the story about that. Like literally, just your Instagram story today. Literally, tell the story.
No, that was mind blown when she said that, because I'm like, literally, it's the smallest things that will separate you from someone else. It doesn't even have to be anything major. But she was like, you know, I just want to tell you, I contacted 3 different, she's from Nashville. She's not even from Atlanta.
Yeah.
She's like, I reached out to 3 different brand photographers or brand photographers who had it in their bio. Because, you know, everybody be having a million things in their bio. Like, they do everything. But anyway.
Branding, maternity. Okay. All right.
Everything. But she was like, yeah, I reached out to 3 different brand photographers. And every single, or at least like most of them called me. She would schedule a call, and they will call her 15 minutes after the scheduled time frame. And she was just like, yeah, you're the only person who called me right at when we scheduled for 10:30. You called me at 10:30. I actually called her at 10:29. But you called me right on time. And because of that, honestly, I knew I really already loved your work, so I knew I wanted to book with you. But that just solidified it for me. Like, how you show up, she said, and I quote, I tried to screen record it, but it didn't record the audio. But she said, and I quote, how you show up on how you value the time and the small things up front is always going to be a reflection on how the rest of the process is going to go, and whether And she said that, and I was like, wow. Like, so literally. Good. And even though I've already known that, I thought that was like just super important, because that is true.
That refresher,
how you show
that reminder.
Up on everything, whether it be like your $100 photo shoot or your free photo shoot, because you know somebody might be in that season where you're still doing free photo shoots. Yeah. You're doing a free photo shoot, or you're doing your a call, like, or whatever. Like, people always say, I keep hearing a lot of times from people, I don't like on console calls. I hate it when giving people out ideas because they take my ideas and go work with other photographers. So I just stopped giving them ideas on the thing. Like, no, why do you care? Like, I get why you care to some extent, but I still say no, stop caring because give the value. If they go work with someone else, like someone else is never going to be able to duplicate you.
Yeah. And I think it's that abundance mindset that you have to understand that there's enough out here for all of us. Me giving you this information, handing it away, I can't lose it. It's not like, OMG, I just gave her this idea and she shot with another photographer. Now I can't eat tomorrow. If that caused you to not eat tomorrow, we have other problems that we need to talk about.
Facts.
If you giving this knowledge out hurt you financially in a way where you're greatly affected, I think there's other issues in life other than that. I don't think that's the issue. And that's what a lot of us don't realize is there's so many deeper issues going on in our lives that's affecting how we do business. Yeah. I think people don't realize how you show up. So I think that's so important. How you show up is everything. And if you feel like you look in your heart and you feel like you're not showing up well, sometimes it's not even your business. Check your personal life first.
That's a bar.
Check your personal life. Check what you have going on, because that personal life, I can say for myself, like, one of the things I had to check with myself is I was like, man, I'm trying to get all this. I'm like, but why? Then I realized, I'm trying to get all these bookings 24/7 because I love cars and I love going on trips. That's I'm like, that's not a smart thing to do. Like, that's not a smart thing to do because then your focus is on just money. Versus I shifted my focus to I want to provide value and it will come regardless.
I see what you're saying.
It's going to come. I'm just going to be patient and focus on providing value and bringing value to every marketplace that I possess, every marketplace that I'm in. And my time will come for those things. My time will come where I get to go on vacations and do all this. My time will come. And that's what I think a lot of us need to do, like more of like focus on bringing value, serving the way, especially like with what you have going on with Black Girls Shoot, serving, and that thing's going to come. Now you had, and I think now I seen you this year, you had like a boot camp you're doing now. Yeah. Like just serving, like,
but man. No, like I said, that was the training ground. A lot of people miss that part of it. And I'm so glad this is actually the first time I'm actually talking about this. Publicly. But that is the training ground. I didn't realize it. Like, that's why I say God's plan is so much greater than your own. Literally. You have to honor the seasons that you're in because he's preparing you for whatever it is to come next.
Appreciate it.
And appreciate it. Have an attitude of, oh my God, I sound like my network marketing. Have an attitude of gratitude.
Literally, gratitude is everything because you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it.
Right. Sorry, I just need to get a little comfortable.
You're good.
But no, so you have to, honor those seasons because you never know what God is preparing you for. You might be complaining because you're not doing just as well as this photographer or that person, or they're all booked up and you're not, like things like these limiting beliefs you're telling yourself that's holding you back, that's blocking your blessing because you can't see right in front of you how blessed you currently already are. Yeah. And so if I would have been like, maybe who else was, Black women photography, right? If I'd have been like, well, they're doing so much better than I am, and I got 100, but they got 1,000 people at their thing, and I'm not doing that. That blocks you in so many ways. Yeah. But going back to the original point, it just was like, that was a training ground. Because after that first initial event, I continued on to do events throughout the year. It wasn't, the profits weren't like astronomical, but what they were, relationship building, they were community building. Value. Right. Pouring impact back into other people. And additionally, we were doing money. I started this thing called Money Shot Monday. So every single Monday I would go live and we would do like I don't want to say a training, but it was just like almost like a conversation talk, similar to what we're doing here. Like I would interview other photographers within the space, within different spaces who were successful, and just when I wasn't interviewing photographers, giving value back to people. And all of those were for free. And I've seen so many photographers, businesses, like specifically Black female photographers, businesses transformed from these calls. And so even something as simple as that, those are totally free. So now come January, I did that for about since from May up until the end of the year and still continuing it on.
Yeah.
Those are completely free. So then come January, I dropped my first business boot camp and that sells out.
Crazy.
You know, within almost honestly, it sold out earlier than what I announced it to have.
Yeah.
I just was kind of rolling more sales, but I just, anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But that does end up selling out. But after, I think the training ground for all of it is everything God had prepared me for that I didn't see. I didn't see this coming. I didn't
did not see this boot camp coming, and you're over here literally laying the knowledge down. Now I even noticed, even in that boot camp, you don't just have Black women in there.
No, it's men. It's majority. And actually, no. It's actually one Hispanic girl. We got one girl from Australia.
I was paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention to these things. I'm like, yo, it's evolving. So now your brand as a coach is evolving, simply not because you woke up one day saying, I want to be a coach, but you woke up saying, I want to serve in a greater way, figure out how can I serve in this market? How can I serve in a space outside of, with still using my camera? Because that's the biggest thing about this for me is I want to cover people who are literally who picked up a camera initially, but they're doing so much greater things than just holding a camera. That's the big thing, and I love that. I love that for you.
No, I'm glad you're saying that. I appreciate it. Thank you for acknowledging it, because sometimes I think it's kind of hard to give your own self props in a sense.
Yes,
I'm just doing it. I'm just doing.
I'm just passionate.
Right, I'm just you don't even think it's that deep, but then when someone else acknowledges it, it means the more world. So I really appreciate that. It means the world coming from you. But no, I think you should see yourself more than just, a lot of people should see themselves more than just a photographer.
Literally.
We minimize ourselves so much because, some in other spaces you might just be an afterthought, but no, there's so much purpose attached to what you're doing and what we're doing in general.
Literally.
I said it, I don't know, I made this post a long time ago, but I said your camera will get you in more rooms than a degree will, than anything else.
I am a living testimony of that.
It will get you so many rooms.
And you thinking it's just rooms. It's going to get you in rooms where you thought they cared about your camera, but they don't even care. They met you with your camera, but they want you specifically in the room. Not even the camera sometimes. Sometimes they don't even care for your camera. Just, they want you there.
On a side funny note, you know how many concerts I've gotten in for? How many artists I've seen for free? Front row. For free? Y'all be paying for it.
Y'all can pay for it all y'all want.
Baby, I got a camera.
Baby, I got a camera. That's it.
Seriously, it gets you in so many places you didn't even realize it. Just for free, but not even just besides the concerts, literally. But just rooms and with knowledgeable people that you otherwise wouldn't have had access to.
I love that. So what's your plans this year now? What's your plans this year? Business, with your coaching programs, with your photography. What's your goals this year?
So one, just further in the business. I feel like I've still in a lot of ways. I feel like I'm still in my rookie year.
Okay, yeah.
Humbly, but not humbly.
Yeah.
I'm in a rookie year with confidence, I have a clear vision, a clear focus than I've ever had before. So just really honing in and furthering, building my clientele and establishing myself as a thought leader in the branding space. In the branding community. But also, stepping into coaching, but outside of just coaching, more so, I feel like this might be a conversation off camera, but more so diversifying outside of just coaching, doing more events and bringing people together further in the community. It's honestly 2024. Oh my God, it's so weird to say it. 2024 is a continuation, but a sharpening of what happened, what 2023 is.
It's time to sharpen it and really
just sharpen it and hone in a little bit more. I feel like I said, I feel like we started together in a lot of ways. And every single year you're just figuring out something new.
Literally. And it's time to go 20 times harder. It's literally.
And every single breakthrough you have, it's you got to apply that information. Sometimes it might take a while. Sometimes it won't. But
facts.
Yeah. You just got to start applying it and just keep doing it.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this.
And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is one thing. Investing in more coaching and knowledge outside of photography. Last year, I got a photography business coach, someone who is in the photography space.
Yeah.
But if you want to take it further, there are professionals and people, they might charge a pretty penny, because they really do be charging some money.
Yeah.
But I think it's a well worth it investment.
And even if you don't have the coach itself, even if all you can afford is the books, like books on finances, books on growing online, social media, building a social media presence, those books are crazy good. Like Gary Vee, there's a lot of people who have books, and they also freely give content online every day. Alex
Elias, she's doing a conference this weekend.
Yeah,
is a really good one.
Alex Hermosi, I think his name is. Man.
Have you read the $1 Million Offer?
Yes, it's so good. I'm gonna reread it. I'm gonna spend a block on that one.
After reading that one, that I like, you can't get me to lower my price.
Yo,
you can't get me to do so.
And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, like you said, people need to expand their knowledge past photography. After that, bro, when I tell you I switched completely to just taking calls and closing clients on the phone, I'm like, man, I'm gonna close you on the phone. I'm gonna hit you with that grand slam offer, and you can't refuse it.
Exactly. Like when I tell you I love having aha moments when you wake up and be like, it's like a the I don't know, but it was that one was like a major aha, like, oh my God, like
it makes sense. Literally. And yeah, I highly encourage that. So yeah, I would say that, like, definitely tap into it, whether you go through the coaching programs, depending on your finances, or you get these books, audio books. Even if you can't afford it, get on the audio books. They're on YouTube. Get that knowledge in. It's out there. But yeah, I'm super excited. I want to say thank you again so much for coming on. I can't wait. So before we get off, when is going to be the next time you're going to open up an opportunity for your boot camp? Just so they know, or should they just follow you on social media?
Enrollment is February 29th.
Okay.
So the last open up enrollment, because I'm doing it every other month.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because it's February right now. We're in February. We just started February. So you said, when's it?
March.
Probably March.
No, it actually does open up February 29th.
All right. I'm super excited. So y'all tap in February 29th. If y'all interested, y'all can check out her Instagram. And yeah, I'm super excited.
MeccaClarkePhoto.com or
yes. And it will be in the description too, y'all. I appreciate you tapping in with us. Thank you so much.
I wish you all the best as well. Like one thing, you gave me my flowers. I want to always give you yours as well. Seriously, watching you evolve and grow has been so inspiring.
Thank you.
See what you're doing now. Whether we're thriving socially.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, let me make sure I say that right.
You good.
Yes. No. Like even with this, like every step, it's like a new level. You're a new bar you're setting to accomplish. And I think one of the quotes I love is like iron sharpens iron.
Literally.
And like I love seeing other people who like around me who are doing great, because
I need that energy.
I need it. Like you cannot, like I cannot waver. I can't fall to the wayside. Like you can't.
I'm gonna have a down day, and then I'm watching Mecca story. I'm like, all right, I need to
all right, let's go. I gotta go. Let me go make some calls. Like,
literally. I may not respond to that story, but just that.
No,
stuff,
there's a few people. I said, is Mike's like that? You're like that. I think Jalen's the same way. Like I'd be like, damn, she just dropped another digital product. Let me get to work. Like you can't sit around no more.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
It's that energy, and I appreciate that, because like I said, it's like, you being great helps me to want to be greater as well. And I want you to continue to thrive and do great things and, really change the game. Because I don't think anybody's doing this. Like, literally, please tell me who was doing this when we was starting.
Nobody.
Who was doing this?
Nobody. They had retouching courses for $600. Nobody was talking about the business side of it. It was nobody. It
was like this taboo thing to like, help people. Like, I swear to you, I do have one thing I want to say to the camera. You said I had a talk to You have no reason not to win. When I tell you there's so much information, free information and things, resources and things out there, you have no reason not to win.
I say
you have things like this and like coaches and courses and free information and all this.
I say this all the time. With the power of the internet in this day and age, if you really lay the ground right for a good 15 years on the internet, there's no reason you're not going to be where you really want to be within 15 years. If you truly walk on the internet, show up on the internet and say, I'm going to bring value.
15 years is a long time, though.
No, and when I say 15 years, I'm over exaggerating.
I'm like, that's a long time.
We see people do it in 2 years. We see people do it in 1 year. We see people within a year and a half. 15 years is an over exaggeration. Crazy.
I was like, 15
Come
years.
on, man. And you see that face, y'all. You see her face reaction. Because we know, I did it in within 3 years in Atlanta. Boom, I'm where I'm at now. So we know people who do it with a lot less.
Way more. You can do so much.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. Well, thank you so much, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe. Tune in to us guys for more episodes. I can't wait. And yeah, peace out.